Where's the chuckle? Hi. Hi, Booey. Yeah. Kick and kick. Kick and kick. Move those arms. Yeah. You just hit it on your own. Wow. Good job, buddy. My goodness. Yeah. That's a real smile. Hi everybody, happy Thursday. So today my plan was to talk about Ash and give you a mommy update. And I didn't expect to have him in the video with me, but he has been a little bit fussy today. And it's already 9 o'clock. He hasn't napped much. And I put him in his crib, but he wasn't having it, so he's gonna hang out with Mom for a minute. Sometimes when I can't calm him down at all, Dad is the secret weapon. Peter will walk in, pick him up, and usually he's quiet right away. And then sometimes he'll take him outside and get him to calm down. It's pretty amazing. What's been happening in Ashland's life is he has been growing like a weed. He went from the 35th weight percentile to the 77th. So he is doing great. He's finally getting sleepy. Since he is growing so much, he's grown out of pretty much all his newborn clothes, which made me sad, but also exciting to see his development. He's seeing a lot more. You can tell he's really aware of us more and more. Every day it changes. He has his little activity mat where he can lay and look up, and we've got little birds, and there's an owl that makes noise, and he'll bat at things with his hands, and he's starting to notice. Tomorrow he will be 2 months old, which is amazing. It looks like his hair is starting to turn blonde. There's the little spiral on the back. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the roots look really blonde, and I'm really noticing a lot of his roots are starting to look almost white. So I'm wondering if his hair will either fall out or if it might just change color, which would be so weird because I'm used to my little brown-haired boy. So he goes in for his 2-month checkup tomorrow. We'll get to weigh him again and see how much more he's grown. I feel like he's growing every day, which is so amazing. So life is good, still very tiring. We have our same schedule. Peter's staying up till 4 in the morning almost every single morning, and sometimes even later. We're so lucky we have another room, so I'll sleep in the guest room, and he and I will usually go back down about 5 or 5:30 or 6, sometimes depending on nursing. A lot of people ask, is Ashland sleeping through the night? And not yet. Last night he slept 3 hours after I had slept my 4, so I felt pretty rested today. But then he usually sleeps in about 2-hour increments. Sometimes I feel like we've been asleep forever, and then I look at the clock and it's been about 35 minutes. And that's frustrating. He's starting to be able to put himself to sleep, which is awesome. Still sleeping in bed next to him, and he's in his little nest. It's really safe, nothing that I feel like I would roll over on, but I still want to be close to him. And so we plan to co-sleep or keep him in the room with us for probably the first 4 to 6 months. He's been napping in his crib a lot, and sometimes he sleeps a big chunk of the night in his crib. Like we'll put him in there around 8, and sometimes he goes right to sleep. And the other night he slept till, sounds like midnight or 1. I had gone to bed, so Peter had the monitor on him. He actually sleeps really well on his stomach, which they say not to do, so we only let him nap on his tummy or sleep when we're awake and we're watching him on the monitor or in the room. He is really good at nursing. I started pumping, which is new, so now Peter can give him the bottle, which is really exciting. I'm able to sleep longer at night. Before I was pumping, it was really hard to leave the house for more than 2 hours at a time because that's pretty consistent for when he's hungry. We actually went out to a show one night, and my parents were babysitting, and they brought him in the car at intermission, and I nursed in the car. I felt bad, but he didn't seem to notice the difference, and he wanted Mama's milk. We actually went to Portland to visit Lindsay Sterling and see her show, which was phenomenal, incredible. And it was great to see her afterwards, but we had to run home to our boy. That was hard to be away from him. We'd been doing the bottle for a couple of days before we left to make sure he was adjusted, but He adjusted like a champ. He didn't even seem to notice the difference between the bottle or Mama. I think he's totally out, but he has one little eye peeped open. We call it the twilight zone. He's not completely out, but he's pretty much asleep. But there's always that one little eye peeping open. So I also started teaching voice lessons again, which was a little bit of a challenge at first, just adjusting to the schedule. I have great help. 3 days a week my mom helps out, and the other 2 days we have a good friend who's a nanny, and she comes for a couple hours and stays with him. And it's nice because I teach voice lessons at home. So he's up in his room or in the other room, and I can still hear him, and I know he's around, but I know he's being cared for while I teach so I can focus on my students. I really can't imagine going back to work full-time and leaving my son with a caregiver. That would be so hard. We feel very fortunate to both be working out of our house. Peter's in the studio most of the day, so I've got the Ash Man, but really at any time if I need Peter's help, he's there, which is so awesome. And then when I'm teaching, I have help. I thought 6 weeks off was going to be plenty, but I'm finding that it's been really hard just to get back to that schedule and to keep up these videos for you all, and even thinking about anything else. I actually had signed up for a few things, like a musical I was directing. So of course, since he came 3 weeks early, it was right before Tech Week, so that proved to be a little bit complicated. And then I direct an organization called the Women's A Cappella Association, and we had our annual festival, which was in town, so I was doing a lot of the planning, and that was last weekend. So it was definitely a relief to be done with those big projects because I really want to be able to focus on him. So I've decided to stop teaching for the summer so I can really just be a mom. I have some goals. So a while back I did the Hollens cooking challenge, and I definitely am going to start that back up again because that is my goal this summer. Since I'm taking time off from my voice studio, I'm going to learn how to really cook and really set a schedule and have it become a normal part of our lives. Peter and I are always so busy and our schedules are always so weird, especially when I would have evening rehearsals, and I primarily just teach after school until about dinner time. So Peter and I are used to just grabbing food here and there. We eat out way too much and it's too expensive. So I'm really looking forward to cooking a lot more this summer. And I'm not terrible at it, but it should make for some entertaining vlogs. With all the help I have, I can't even fathom how moms do it without an incredibly supportive partner or without parents to help. I mean, my mom and dad have been so supportive, and our whole family has. Peter's sister just visited for the weekend, and Peter's mom, Nana, comes to visit, and they're both so loving and take such great care of him. You know, it's just a complete life adjustment. At this age, he's a little easier to bring along. Like, we had 2 concerts this weekend as part of the festival. The first night he slept through the entire concert. And I know that's not gonna last long, so pretty soon he'll be on a schedule, and then we probably won't be able to leave the house after 8 o'clock. I was reading about his developmental stage right now, and it says it's really good to just talk to him. So when my dad comes over, he usually takes Ashland on a tour of the house and explains all the rooms and talks about everything in his surrounding area. And he's always very intent. So I've been doing that more and just narrating life as it goes along, because it's really good for him to hear our voices and just to get used to that. It's good for his development too, to be listening and all types of inflections. Low, low voices and high, high voices. What do you think of that, my son? Another thing is the healing process. So I have my first postpartum checkup tomorrow, as well as Ashland's 2-month appointment. We have 2 different doctor's appointments tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to hearing how my scar has healed. Everything looks good to me, but I just want to get the okay for exercising again, and I want to start swimming again and playing tennis. My dad and I play tennis together. I've been walking as much as possible, and today I took a really nice walk with Ash and Rainy. But it's tiring, and I also don't know how much exercise I can do or I can't, so I'm really excited to get the okay from the midwife about what I can and can't do. And hopefully she gives me the green light on anything so I can just get back at it and just feel more fit and healthy. So all in all, this is still the best thing that's ever happened to us. Peter and I are both so in awe of him and love being with him, and there are definitely frustrating days and frustrating moments and frustrating hours, but that's all part of being a parent, and we're just learning as we go along. Well, somebody's awake again, so I don't have long. I have music coming soon. Peter and I are doing a duet. If you didn't check out the Phantom medley, I'll leave that right here so you can watch that. We released that a couple weeks ago. It was really fun to do, just a couple weeks after Ashlyn was born. So thanks again, everybody, for watching, and I will see you all next week.